We'll talk about Facebook, which has been certainly a trending topic for the last couple of weeks in association with how they're handling content on their site. Now, they had a scathing review from an internal audit that had been going on over the last 2 years. That report came out, and then there's also a backlash against advertising on their platform with the Stop Hate for Profit campaign. Well, yesterday, here's a move that they made, maybe in association with that. So it has to do with removing a number of sites associated with Roger Stone. Now, that is a former political advisor of President Trump, who is known for some things that go along with this, stoking some fires, if you will. And these were a number of accounts that were also fake, that were used to post information that Facebook said coordinated inauthentic behavior, meaning misinformation and really trying to mislead people. So they took down a total of 54 accounts with 50 pages and 4 Instagram accounts as well. All of them linked back to Roger Stone and his associates. They said that about 260,000 users followed one or more of these pages. So they took action here. This was certainly something that I would think would be associated with what This Other News is, a response to that. But that is what they've done. So we'll have to see where this goes from here, what other actions they're going to be taking. But Facebook making a move there with removing some political content on their site. And you can read more about that at digitaltrends.com. Continuing on with trending news, to let you know what's happening. Certainly, there's a lot of competition for online meeting venues. That means Zoom, that means Microsoft Teams, and of course Google and Facebook also getting into this, but Microsoft Teams released some new updates to make things feel a little bit different with the meetings. And this includes a number of different things. It's this Together mode is what it's called, so Microsoft Teams Together mode. It's designed to create a virtual live avatar of yourself that's supposed to help you better engage with meetings. So they want to change how this meeting actually takes place when you're having your virtual meetings from your office or your home. It includes a number of different ways that you can also adjust your camera and your lighting, but backgrounds is a big feature, so changing that up. And also this Together mode is the idea that you could end up having everybody in a mutual room, like an auditorium, which is one of the ones that's going to be launching first with it, where everybody will be in the same auditorium and kind of get that feeling of actually being in the same room together versus, everybody in their living rooms or their bedrooms, wherever they're going into in these meetings. They said that future updates are going to allow things like being in a coffee shop or other locations that you can be. You're also going to be able to use emojis in real time during the meetings. And so that is something that they're rolling out. Now, the rollouts start out today, but they said most people will probably be getting it in August. But definitely a lot of competition when it comes to online meetings. That's Microsoft Teams' response. Continuing on with trending news. Talking about how some things are opening back up. Let's talk about Disney World. Yes, Disney World is slated to open up this weekend, despite many rising cases of COVID-19 in Florida. But they said here is how it's going to work there. So face coverings are going to be required for all employees and visitors over the age of 2. They'll be taking temperatures. They're going to leave empty seats on the rides, and they're going to run loudspeaker announcements throughout the park, urging people to frequently wash their hands. And they said they're going to set up 4,000 hand sanitizing stations for that. There's also going to be plexiglass partitions installed in shops and restaurants, and they did say that it's going to be certainly not at capacity. They didn't say exactly what percentage they're going to do, but that's something that they're doing. And we've seen different examples of how parks are opening up worldwide, including Japan, where a number of amusement parks have opened under pretty strict regulations, so much so that they have been asked not to scream when on the rides. Yes, when you're on the rides, they want people to not only wear the mask, but also not scream, because that puts particulates into the air. And this video came out showcasing a couple of executives here riding a roller coaster. And the message is, please scream inside your heart. So that is what they're asking you to do, to scream inside your heart. That is actually kind of adds on to the roller coaster, in my opinion. That makes it even more terrifying that they're asking you to do that. But that is what they're doing, asking people not to scream when on the rides. We'll have to see how this all goes at Disney World. No word on how they want you to scream, but that is what we're looking at. It is a strange world. All right, continuing on here with trending news. Let's go to this. Elon Musk making an announcement, and this time it's about the Boring Company, something we haven't heard from for a while. The Boring Company is his mission to create tunnels underneath cities to alleviate traffic. They're doing it right now in Las Vegas. They've got a number of tunnels that are going there at the Las Vegas Convention Center, but now there's a contest called Not a Boring Contest. That is what it is. So the contest is this. He wants to get more people involved to help speed up the process of boring these tunnels so they can do it more and more around cities. And the goal is to have people sign up, so you can go to the website and sign up to do this. And then essentially what it will be is teams competing against each other to bore a 30-meter tunnel with a cross-sectional area of 0.2 square meters. There's going to be competition categories like the fastest tunnel, the fastest completed tunnel, and driving surface, where they'll actually have a remote-controlled Tesla that will be driving through them, and the most accurate guidance system for a boring machine. So that is what they're looking at. They want to speed it up, and they want you to get involved. So if you have an idea of how you can dig a tunnel faster than anybody else, this is probably a competition you want to join. So that is, again, the Not a Boring Tunnel competition. Continuing on with trending news, just keeping you up to date with what people are talking about in technology. Let's talk about live streaming. Well, not necessarily live streaming, but streaming video platforms. There's a lot of competition in that. And Quibi was one that entered the race in early April. And now some numbers have come out about how they're doing. And it's not the greatest. So they, in their first 3 days of launching, they got about 910,000 users. And these data is coming from mobile analytics firm Sensor Towers. That's where this data is getting quoted from. But the 90-day trial ran out here, of course, just a few days ago on a lot of those. And they said that only about 72,000 of those users stuck around. So that's about an 8% conversion rate of who actually signed up originally and then who stayed on. So over 90% left the service. Now, Quibi has responded saying that these numbers are inaccurate because that doesn't showcase the entire picture, because there were millions more of what they're saying that actually signed up after that 3-day period. But we don't have those official numbers yet, but that is where we're at right now. So in comparison, just an example, Disney Plus they actually only retained about 11% of the people who originally signed up, but then they added millions more later. It's not anticipated that Quibi added too many more millions in that, and we don't know exactly what the platform is right now, but yeah, it's not looking so great for Quibi, but that is the news on it. Just wanted to share that with you so you can read more about that at digitaltrends.com. And one more story here. We've got this. Getting ready for the Mars 2020 launch. NASA is releasing some videos, kind of showcasing and hyping it up. It is pretty exciting. Now, it's originally going to be on July 17th. That date was bumped back, so it's now a window starting July 30th for a couple of weeks there into early August when this thing could launch. But this would be sending that new rover to Mars, the Perseverance, and then it's going to have a number of firsts on there. It's going to have the Mars helicopter with it, and they put out a lot of information about that. But you can check more out about that at digitaltrends.com.